Alright, do you want to use the audio device Scarlett 18 USB? I don't know, do you? Whoa! I think it decided for you. Whoa! That's not good. Just silence and then...
Hello, people of the internet! Welcome to the most active paranormal show on YouTube. Hi, I'm your host, Aaron G. Thompson, and with me today, you might remember some of these awesome familiar faces. There's waving right there. Lindsay Doyle is joining us for the panel, as well as Travis Shepard.
Hi.
So, guys, are you ready to talk ghosts here?
Of course I'm ready.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Study links poor understanding of the physical world to religious and paranormal beliefs. Okay, so Lindsay, Travis, recently there has been a study done, I believe it was, 258 participants were in this study for a few years span, and they wanted to see really how are these supernatural belief systems in people affecting their normal understanding of what real is, what I guess real scientific proven methods of life is. And they believe in some ways it may be hindering folks. So kind of with that, idea, what do you, I know you went through the article as well, Lindsay, what do you think about that?
Well, Aaron, when I was going through the article and looking over what it was saying, basically it's that people who believe in a religion or people who believe in the paranormal can't comprehend or do as well with certain things like mathematical skills,
Right.
map reading,
Right.
Actually even sometimes social interactions. So to me, I'm going to go ahead and say that I've seen where people do get so enthralled into their religion
Right.
that they can't function socially. They use their religion to an extreme.
Okay. That's an excuse maybe in some aspects.
Right. Maybe even look at the movie Carrie and look at Mrs. White, because she's just she's so extreme into her religion. And so it might cloud your viewpoint, your perspective of certain things, and it might actually hinder you to take in certain things as well, because this is how, and I'm just saying this as a broad spectrum for not just a specific religion, and not just specifically for like paranormal or anything like that, just as a broad spectrum. But it may hinder your ability to be more open-minded because you're so focused on this one thing in your life that dictates your life.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I've seen it firsthand with family members of mine, as far as religion goes, and but then I would also have to say I've seen other folks, again, like last week I said I'm in the military,
Right.
and I'm a chaplain's assistant, and every class that I've ever gone to, we have to do map reading, we have to do lots of studying, things like that, and not to toot my own horn, but I always get on the commandant's list, which means my religion is obviously not interfering with my ability to take in the rest of the world.
The commandant's list?
The commandant's list? The commandant who runs the program, so it's basically making the dean's list.
Oh, okay. Wow.
right.
Great. Okay.
Now, sadly, I knew what commandant meant because I played a video game a long time ago, and I had to give my character a title, and all the titles weren't being accepted because you can't have titles in these video games, right? So somehow commandant wasn't a title that's familiar.
There you go.
The commandant, I thought that they played at the casino, actually. I thought that was a 70s band. But, Commodores. I get a little different.
Yeah, they used to be commandants.
It's funny this topic is brought up because actually yesterday I was talking with a friend, and I got to be careful here. I don't want to sound anti-religion, so to speak. But he was talking about a guy he knows who's belongs to a specific religion that actively recruits. I'll just go ahead and you could probably fill in the lines and who go out and recruit the most. But and he was working on my friend, trying to get him, and he's just sort of like, oh, I'm not into that. And then he, in a moment of frustration, not anger or anything, he just goes, the hardest people to get to come to my church are the ones that are relatively educated and typically middle class. And he's like, we don't seem to have much of a problem with the people that don't have as much education and kind of like falling on hard times. And he wasn't saying that, he didn't mean it to be profound. Right. But at the time, my friend is just like, wow, that's kind of crazy that he even knows that it's harder to sell his religion to people that, well-read, and they keep up with events and everything. And then it is kind of funny and then at the end of the story, my friend said that this guy he knows, he actually left the church a year later.
Well, the funny thing is, not to focus so much on the religious aspect of this, but, Westboro or West Baptist, what's that one?
Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh, so a little combination of both. They be great. But they're very passionate with what, their belief systems are. So the type of people that they, of course, they're not releasing the names of the participants, and I wouldn't expect them to anyways, but it questions what type of folks that participated to this. Did they actively seek maybe one whole group, maybe a middle class or upper class, or even did they focus the majority on lower class? So it wonders what type of people are going in here and where they're getting kind of their overall perception that the less education, and because that's what I got out of it too, Lindsay, the less education that you have, the more that you're perceptive or more accepting of these, and I'll stick with paranormal beliefs at this point, supernatural. And they never focus specifically on spirits and ghosts, but I think we all can agree that it's weird. Believing in spirits and ghosts is strange, and it definitely takes a belief system in a sense.
Yeah. Well, you see it over the years. It kind of, I don't know, if you were had a graph or something, it would kind of
insert graph. No.
Yeah. Dude, can you do that in post-production? Okay, the graph right here. The pressure's on. You better come up with a graph. But over the years, people are becoming less and less religious, and that goes with people believe in miracles less and less. And I'll tie this into one thing that I was just actually teaching recently, which is Quebec history. Okay. Right. So I kind of study that a little bit. I got a branch of the family that's French Canadian, and so they actually for a long time were the least religious province in Canada because at one point they were the most religious, and there was a huge backlash because a lot of them were poor and they didn't feel like they were being treated fairly by the English-speaking Canadians. So anyway, getting on a big tangent here, but recently they've actually had an uptick in their church membership. And of course, they're being French Canadians, mainly Catholic, and they are no longer the least religious province. So, you might say that the more educated you are, it kind of seems like you shy away from the beliefs in supernatural or religious type of things. But at the same time, Quebec, they had one of the reasons that one of the effects of all this tension was that they put a huge emphasis on education, because before that, in the early 1900s, children were dropping out of school at the age of 10. Right. And so now they're one of the more educated provinces, and yet there's this uptick in religious membership. So it's this weird sort of correlation, and I just find that interesting, and that kind of shows that you can have these beliefs, you can have more education, and it doesn't. And I'm not particularly religious myself, but I always get uncomfortable when people sound kind of anti-religion, because I think it does a lot of good as well as bad. So you just can't. Yeah. It's your blanket statement.
Exactly. Because with religion, and even with paranormal, spiritual belief systems that are out there, I think if you have focus and if you have positive focus, you can do a lot of good, especially around your community. If you're helping out and not focusing on the negative aspects of maybe the overall unfortunate, doomsday talks that show fear and try to conquer people's minds that way. I think it's good to be open-minded, and it's good to keep that focus, especially if you are a part of a religion. I think that's healthy. You have to own it, but don't be so. Don't be so. I guess I don't want to use the word hateful, but
close-minded.
Keep open-minded. I think that's the healthiest way to be. Any religion or not religion,
And that goes along with the supernatural, but along with this, fewer and fewer people are believing in the traditional sense of the ghost, the ghoul in the corner or whatever. But at the same time, now we have all this technology which can monitor that stuff,
right?
And it allows us to see more stuff that they might not have known 100 years ago, but is still not necessarily explainable in 2016. So there is still a lot of more educated people that are finding more and more stuff to research and delve into. So there's a lot out there, whether it's religion or supernatural, that we're still learning a lot about. There's not just one set answer that can be proven or disproven for the most part.
Yeah, and I think that's where the wall hits, because you get the scientific mindsets that say, this cannot happen because you can't duplicate it in a controlled environment with an agent, to prove that this is something that's real. So, and then of course you get the believers that say, of course it is. I've seen this. I've spoken with a past loved one, whatever the case may be, on an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, a session with a digital recorder, analog recording device. There's a lot of, I think a lot more, if you're going to test like this, put a lot of participants in there. I think there's a lot of things. I like that. I like your neck, what your neck did when you said that. That was cool. Right. Yeah, thank you. I practiced that all day, actually.
Well, it paid off.
Nailed it. There's a lot more, bullet points that I think they can hit with these, with these tests. Of course, again, I don't know all the bullet points that they did, but with them coming back and saying, the lesser-minded, in a sense, are the ones who have these spiritual beliefs. I know when I first started in the late 90s, there wasn't hardly anyone hunting ghosts. I mean, this was not a popular thing to dive into. It was, Sean, I didn't tell anyone I was doing it because I wanted to find out the answers by myself in a normal, scientific, realistic way. I didn't want people to feed, theories in my head. If you want something done, you gotta do it yourself. So,
actually, isn't that from Ghostbusters 2?
Is it?
If you want something done, you got to do it yourself. And then it's the Bobby Brown song. That was, you couldn't have planned that better. Tell me that you planned that. That was just too natural.
Cue the song. Cue credits.
Love is lifting me higher.
We don't want any toaster dancing. That's going to really... Okay.
Feeds off of love. That's the secret.
Actually, it feeds off of love and hate. It's just pure emotion.
You're right. You're right.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, but bring up a point with back, in the late 1800s, Thomas A. Edison was actually a huge believer in the paranormal, believer in spirits and ghosts. And it's kind of funny because he's not, you're a parapsychologist. He's not someone who studied the mind. The guy studied energy. That was something that he, primarily focused on. He stated in a scientific magazine, I believe it was released 1923, somewhere right around there. He stated in the magazine that he has the device that can speak with the dead. He passed away, and he was so paranoid that he didn't want to release his device on paper, kept it in his head, so we don't know what that is.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
You just taught me something.
Oh, cool.
Wow, I gotta look into that.
So it's fascinating, though. It's fascinating that his mind that early on thought there's something in this, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, when people say scientists, you know, they don't believe in this, well, he's kind of a biggie, you know, in my opinion. But, Lindsay, what else do you have to say about this? Anything crazy?
I don't know if it's crazy, but as far as the study goes, I think the word you were probably looking for was variables into the study.
Yeah.
So you're looking at
Themes.
Things or variables.
Same time, everyone. Themes.
Okay, so
I missed the boat on that one. Let me try again. Hold on.
Things.
okay, so all right, sorry about that. So I didn't really Google and see anything else into this study, but it would be kind of interesting to know where the background, the religious background of those who were studied.
Yeah.
Because that could make a big difference. Their, you know, what was their social background, their economical background, their religious background. Because, like you said, if you're just pulling from one group here, you know.
And it's interesting because one of the examples that they did use, though again they didn't focus on ghosts and spirits, but I think it kind of all goes together at the end of days here. The breaking a mirror, 7 years bad luck. They use that as an example. Mm-hmm. Folks, you know, and to be honest, I'm not superstitious at all. Absolutely not. So it kind of floored me when I read that. Like, people still believe that if you break a mirror or black cat under a ladder.
Or open an umbrella indoors, but it's like, how else are you going to dry out the umbrella? It's going to get moldy. You know? Seriously.
You have to shake it out.
Well, you got to do that at first, but then all the little droplets also. I mean, I'm just saying, if you come over to my house, you might see an open umbrella indoors drying out.
Crazy. I'm not going to that house. No way.
Okay, fine.
I think that with that, like with the whole like superstitions and things, if you believe it, you're kind of going to make it happen. Like you break the mirror, you have the 7 years bad luck. What are you doing? Are you being like, you're a Debbie Downer, negative Nelly? You're looking at the negative parts of your life and saying, man.
It's that whole victimizing thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, I hate to take it here because I know some people live and die for this. Maybe I'm going to offend people, but horoscopes.
Not the internet, you know.
When I read these horoscopes, it's just like, you're a very ambitious person. Anybody in the world can be like, I am. Because dang it, I made a grocery list and then I bought those groceries.
That's right.
I am ambitious.
You're going to make a lot of people mad.
I'm only going to make the Virgos mad, you know.
That would be me.
Oh, okay.
Tauruses, they're like, whatever.
If you're agoraphobic, then that is a big step to get out of the house. I'm just saying.
You know, the fortune cookies are a gift to me because the fortune cookies, I think they gave up. And maybe we're going to horoscopes and fortune cookies. I feel like and that's sad. Sorry, guys. I'll come back to horoscopes in a second. But, like, I opened up a fortune cookie and it said, eat another fortune cookie.
So did you?
I did. I did.
Okay, well, that's how they get you. That's how they got that extra nickel.
Oh, man.
That's why the fortune cookie companies they're like
huge.
Fortune 500.
That's
Steve Forbes is the head of the, you know.
Fortune cookie. He's writing them down. I mean, he has people now, but he started off.
Yeah, we're going to get sued now.
So much suing's going to happen. But just real quick before we move on to the next article, I do want to say something about the horoscope because, I'm the same thing, not very superstitious. And with horoscopes, you can read one and they seem like, okay, I'm going through all of them. Yeah, I could be that. Sure, maybe I'll move on. Well, I read this horoscope. It was, okay, I'll tell you a story. Okay, so on top, it was in a desert, on top of a mountain. Kid you not. There's vegetation up there. There's this little pizza parlor. So I entered the pizza parlor. I had my slice of pizza. They also sold cookies, giant cookies. A little bit higher, as I was eating my cookie and pizza, probably together, I saw this door that said Butterfly House. That's how I envisioned it.
You meant the other way. The other way, butterfly.
I'm sticking to my guns. It was attacking me.
Yeah, okay. They are aggressive.
Yeah, such
Especially
aggressive
monarchs.
creatures. Oh. So I went into said butterfly house, and there was a lot of horoscope stuff, a lot of religious, a lot of spiritual, a lot of stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm up here. I'm on a mountain. Just ate pizza. Let me go ahead and read some stuff. So I pulled out this card that was from, it was specific for my birthday. So I was like, it's pretty close, May 14th. Remember that, guys. So I read it and I'm like, man, this is pretty accurate. But I mean, of course it's going to be accurate. So I obsessively was reading them all. None of the other ones even hit close. So I started scratching my head. I'm like, okay, one off. So I read like the actual horoscope thing. And again, the horoscope was dead on. And it's not like I was wanting it. I didn't feel like I was wanting it to work. And I kind of checked myself and maybe did an internal laugh and went to the clerk with the horoscope. And I go, where do you get these? Just out of curiosity. And she started laughing at me. And she goes, you're not the first person that's asked that question here. I go, why? I don't understand how they can be so, and again, I know there's a lot of stuff behind it. I'm not saying they're legit or not, but this one moment got me.
That's the end of the story?
That was it.
Okay, I gotta be honest. I wasn't sure if this was a true story. Is this a true story?
It's a true story.
Why? It was so vague at first. I went, what mountain was this?
Was there
Mount
peyote
Lemon.
involved?
It was Mount Lemon in Tucson, Arizona.
Okay.
Peyote.
Okay, yeah, a lot of... Okay.
Lot of peyote.
I was like, it was confusing because the way you started off, it was almost like a riddle. Like, so I was on this mountain and there was a cookie and so who was it that baked the cookie? Or something like that. I don't know. And so I was just waiting, and no, that was a true story.
That was a true story.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a fun time.
Well, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Next time I'm in Arizona, which will be never, because I'm like way Irish and I don't like heat. So.
Oh man! Speaking of don't like the heat, Ghost Hunter captures clearest photo yet of notorious poltergeist, dubbed Black Monk of Pontefract.
Wait, what?
What is that word?
Okay, let's.
Pontefract.
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 Pontefract. Let's just go with that. It
Pontefract.
sounds Pontefract.
The question mark.
Pontefract.
Pontefract. So Ghost Hunter captured this photograph. Now, I'm not sure if you got around to it, if you were able to check out the photo.
I didn't. I'm so unprofessional.
No, stop it.
I apologize.
No.
Can you bring it up?
I can bring it up. We got you.
I just pulled into town about 30 minutes ago, people. I didn't have a chance to...
He be busy working. I don't know where I'm going with that. So.
Whoa.
Right? So.
Are you going to put this on the screen, like right
there?
Yeah.
Yes. Right now you're seeing this picture, everyone. We're not looking at anything on this end. But yeah, right? So, kind of cool. I do have to say, kind of cool. Since your first impressions, see how it is.
Well, my first impression as a skeptic is always, okay, what type of film was used. Right. I mean, obviously, it's probably digital nowadays, but it used to be that, when people used film, there's all sorts of explanations and whatever.
It's digital. They have so many computer chips and things telling that picture what to take in.
Yeah, but at the same time, as a skeptic, I know that there's different sources of energy that people can't necessarily explain, and so I mean, I don't know. It's worth looking into. I wish I would have researched a little more. To Madison, Wisconsin. It's a fun place.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it was more important than this.
Wow, Madison, Wisconsin. Hello to everyone watching from Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. Drink milk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of dairy.
Okay,
Like
cool.
cows, cheese.
Yum. Speaking of cheese. No.
I don't eat cheese.
You don't eat cheese?
No, you don't.
I'm a vegan.
Oh!
Oh.
Zero
Congratulations.
cheese.
I don't know. Are we supposed to say congratulations? I mean, cool.
I think that's good.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Okay, so Aaron, when I looked over the article, there's a picture of the woman that took this photograph.
Right.
And supposedly one of the pictures that she gets is the the reflection of the monk in the mirror at the bottom of the staircase, and it actually looks like the woman that took the picture, in my opinion. So I'll say that first. So the next I'll say is I went on ahead and I Googled the goodness out of this address, and the current owner is actually a movie producer. And you were talking about the authenticity of photographs, and they do have a statement on their website that says every photograph that they put up, that they go through it, like, and make sure that it hasn't been edited, retouched, all these other things. They'll and I think it said that for this photograph, they went on ahead, and as soon as the woman announced that she had the photograph, they got a hold of her and got her camera like as soon as possible. Okay. Just to make sure that it was all good to go and things like that. So I just wanted to say that because you said about the film. Yeah. Another thing is, though, there's a lot of rumors about this this monk, even to the point where he as the monk before he was a spirit or poltergeist, whatever he is now.
Supposed to be a violent poltergeist, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's the big
yeah, but supposedly he supposedly he was a child molester.
Oh.
And the family that first started reporting incidents in, I believe it's 1967 or something like that, they had 2 children, one of which was a young girl, and supposedly she was the one that got the most backlash from this poltergeist. Okay. So, I wanted to say that. And then also, something else, though, that I noticed was the neighbor Carol. I don't know if you read into the story at all, but there's a neighbor, her name is Carol, and she's been the next door neighbor since the 60s at least, if not before that. She's also a psychic, and she has claimed that the happenings don't just happen at the house, but also come through to her house as well. So I'm kind of looking at 2 different points of this, thinking like as a believer, Carol, as a psychic, perhaps at one point in time, maybe made a connection with someone, someone who had passed, something, or maybe even conjured up some bad energy, and maybe that's where this is all coming from. As a non-believer, I would say that, and I'm not saying I'm a believer or non-believer, I'm just saying from both aspects. As a non-believer, you could say maybe she's the one doing all of this, like a prank, because a lot of the times when you see
in the past, it's been known that people making money off of.
And I mean, it would, like I said, there wasn't anything noted about the house until the 60s. And this neighbor always seems to be involved with everything that's going on. I mean, right now, like I said, the current owner of the house, like the neighbor Carol, she'll go and give people tours. She'll say, "Oh, well, he's been known to push people down the stairs." It's taped on there.
You were possessed at that very moment.
I know, right? Wow. It's taped down. But to push people down the stairways and things like that. So it's just 2 different viewpoints of that.
And you know, with the I think the photo that you're talking about, the one with reflection, because there's 2 photos that were released. There's one that had kind of this fuzzy black thing that I showed you, that was said the lady believes it to be like an arm, holding a rosary or something, holding something, and I can kind of see that. We'll go back to that in a moment. But the other picture that you're talking about, I believe was taken by another team. They're comparing it, but I can't pinpoint if that one was taken after this or before this. I believe the picture that she took was done like November last year. So it was just kind of a comparison picture of some sort. But I agree with you with the reflection, though a lot of the comments about that picture in particular, the one that looks like a reflection, by the people around, said, no one was there. We debunked it. There's nothing, there. That could have been, sure, maybe, but if you're trying to push this out to the mass world, it needs to be something a little more wow factor. I mean, because that is something easy that skeptics can kind of run with, I mean, if it's legit completely, I mean, sure, it can be a cool picture. It does look like a reflection, though, even in my perspective. Now, to go back to the picture that I showed you real quick, that black, like mist, like picture, I gotta say that looks pretty cool. If that if that's legit, if there wasn't some weird spontaneous smoke leak or something, going on at the time of the picture, that looks pretty good. And one of the reasons why I looked at this picture and I thought, wow, this actually might be something. I might be able to get behind this. Is back in it was 2000 and it was 2001 or no 2002. Excuse me, 2002. I actually saw my first full frontal apparition. It was a full manifestation.
And it was naked?
It was no.
He did say full frontal.
I did.
Usually.
That was full frontal clothed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the front of a apparition. He had a beard, and I did some research and some cool things around that really convinced that that's something that happened. And it was witnessed by 2 other people that were with me. So it was witnessed by 3 people. I can't even speak. Say psychology. Parapsychology. I'm like, what word am I even trying to
I
don't know. Yeah, I'm like, what to tap in? What am I saying, guys? It's a rap. So parapsychology says that's mass hallucination. They coined something like that. Also, the rarest form of hallucination, because it's probably just a word that they give to people saying, we don't know. It cray. So this is something weird. And what I'm getting at is the apparition that I witnessed looked very much like that foggy black mass. I mean, it looked like a full structured individual, but it was dark. It kind of had like a bubbly effect around it. It was surreal, guys. But yeah, it was wild. It was like, crap, monsters exist. That's what I thought when I saw it. But yeah, it definitely it reminded me of that. It looked like it could have had potential. So maybe not. Check out the picture, guys. Decide for yourself. It'll be down below. It'll be right here.
It's like we're all battling. No, it's over here. Okay, let's just agree to there.
So, guys have anything else to say about that?
No.
Moving on to questions. All right, guys. So, please send me your questions, or send us your questions at GhostTalk. GhostTalk at GhostTalk@ghostcrier.com. Oh, that's a tough one.
Parapsychology.
I'm done.
Okay. Need a list of words to study, a list of phrases.
It's like this. Brain, mouth.
There you go.
It's vomit. That's what it is. Straight up gross ectoplasmic vomit.
Ecto-cooler would be more like it. That'd be delicious.
Delicious. It would be. So GhostTalk@ghostcrier.com. We like questions. We like to talk. We like to answer things. So please do that. So I want to say welcome back, Karen from Twitter. Whoa! Part 2. As you guys most likely you guys saw last episode. I'm sure. Probably got a couple new people. Folks who didn't see last episode, check it out. It's pretty good. Lindsay and I go into some cool topics, ghostly related, and then we move on to Karen's questions. She gave us some good questions. She really did. And I wanted to, give her respect and really address the questions in full. Our conversation went pretty long, so we couldn't quite do that without a 2-hour show. So, all right, guys. Karen from Twitter asks, are there spirits that can kill humans? So I don't believe we totally addressed this. I think we hit base on this.
We didn't
last
get this
time.
one.
We didn't
get this one.
Okay.
At all.
Okay. I knew we were kind of transitioning towards this.
Mm-hmm.
So are there spirits that can kill humans? Off the bat, I'm gonna say yes. But there's a lot more to it. Lindsay, you want to kind of take it away, and then we'll pass the buck.
Sure. And so I was thinking about this too, and like you said, there's a lot more to it. The way that I was thinking was that the spirit doesn't actually kill you, as in it's going to pick up the kitchen knife or push you down the stairs and kill you and break your neck or whatever, but more like you're going to be possessed. That spirit's going to take over your body, And then, I mean, we've seen this with possessions, where the body just is not meant for that spirit. There's two spirits
Similar
trying to
energy, yeah.
right, two pieces of energy trying to fit into one. You know, it's like two hot dogs into a hot dog bun. It's not going to work. The hot dog bun's going to explode.
Right.
Okay, it's going to disintegrate with the ketchup and all that jazz on it. So
Making me hungry.
sorry.
The hot dogs after this, man?
Yeah, well, the vegan.
We have vegan dogs. They're
tofu
delicious.
dogs?
They're
Okay.
delicious, but
I'd try one.
so what I'm saying is that you know that the spirit itself is not going to physically kill someone. I don't see that. Hurt, yes. Terrify, maybe scare you to death. But yeah, that's just kind of my opinion.
You know, a lot of people end up injuring themselves more than the actual spirit or ghost.
Right.
They see, I may have spoke on this, I'll probably speak of this in the future many times. You see something all of a sudden manifest in front of you. By the way, it's kind of scary. You're probably going to turn the other way, and you may run into the wall or trip over your own feet, go down the stairs. So that's always a thing. With the possession, yeah, I do believe possession is probably the worst thing that an investigator can actually run into. But with possession, you really have to. I mean, there's theories around it. The big one is you have to allow it to happen. But I mean, again, there's so many different dynamics, so many different things about it. Do I totally believe in possessions? I mean, yeah, I believe possessions are out there, but it's probably not as easy as a lot of the news stories or the movies make it out to seem. I believe there's a lot more to it, but yeah, it definitely could be dangerous. And with something, physically picking up a knife and throwing it, there's been places that I've been at that rocks have been thrown and stuff like that. So I mean, there can be harm done, but it's not going to be like a direct attack. I mean, you're going to have to sit in your filth for a while before something happens. I think so. I mean, use common sense when you do a lot of this stuff. If things start getting heated up in there, I mean, there's no reason to stick around and mess with what we don't even know. Sure, you might be fine, maybe most of the time. It's like a gas leak, right? It's like a gas leak. Gas leak. People are like, I smell gas. It's not a big deal. I'm just gonna call utility provider and say I smell gas, but I want to chill in my house until they get there. You should probably leave because there's a chance that the spark can go, and guess what? Bye-bye. So kind of the same thing. It can be dangerous. Most time it probably won't be, but it can be. It can be. Travis, he knows all about spirits that kill.
Yeah. Actually, no. I do have one theory though that I was thinking of. If you are in a vulnerable state,
Right.
Can a spirit take over you at that point? Can it actually help you in the sense that you're 90-something years old? There are stories all over the place. You're dying, your health is already poor.
Right.
It's a matter of days. You hear all the time about people that essentially it seems like they've chosen when they die. You know what's going to happen within a couple of weeks. You don't know when exactly. Right. And all the time you hear about the last family member showed up and then 10 minutes later they passed away.
Right.
And I'm not saying that that's always the case, because there are those unfortunate circumstances where like, oh, I was on my flight there and whatever.
Right.
But if it is possible, can someone choose when they actually pass away? And how is that done? Is there something that helps take them to the other side?
Right.
And once again, I don't know, but I just think there's so many stories about that. Some even in my own family where someone was, you gotta make it there. They gotta. 2 weeks later, after that one family member who was holding out, there was actually kind of a rift in the family or whatever. That one family member was holding out. Waited 2 weeks. I was like, she's not gonna make it, and finally decided to show up 2 weeks later. Dies right then. How is that? I don't think you can necessarily choose when you go. If you just sit there and go, all right, I'm ready. And you're perfectly healthy, that's not going to happen.
Right.
But if you're in a vulnerable state, can that energy manifest itself? Can a spirit help bring you to the other side? So in a sense, it's almost, if that is true, it's not necessarily just bad spirits that can possess you when you don't want to be.
I read this book a long time ago that this spirit, this interviewer, and I feel like it was in the 1800s. This interviewer got a chance to go to an old house and he wanted to interview a spirit, because they said it was a very haunted structure. He sat down and he had an agent, which is basically another person, another body there, to sit in the seat across from him to allow a possession to happen. And supposedly Aaron Burr actually stepped into the body. Good old Aaron Burr shoots first, right?
Did I ever tell you? I'm related to Aaron Burr.
No, you did.
Okay.
You did. I didn't mean to bring it up like that. Maybe it's a connection.
It's a little sensitive. Don't talk about Aaron.
Too soon.
It's a distant relation, so I'm not like, your grandpa. No.
Yeah, well, I guess you try to talk to this guy. And they, when some of these possessions happen, the story is that the physical individual changes appearance, changes stance, even voice changes a little bit. Of course, with the calibration of the body, manifesting with the new energy, to do that. And this guy, I guess, had an interview with Aaron Burr. And it was an interesting read. I mean, I took it as a read. I didn't take it too serious. But what if you could use like a scenario like that? Because that Aaron Burr, or the spirit of, or whatever that was. Wasn't a mean spirit. Just wanted to just take over for a second, kind of share some thoughts on how they went. Is that the way to communicate? Are we doing it wrong? Are we not taking enough chances? Are we not the jackasses of ghost hunting? Having the worst show. Possession. Oh, hey.
Let's take this opportunity to try to get Aaron Burr put on the $10 bill. Replace the guy that he killed.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's unfair. You lose in a duel and you get put on a $10 bill. Shouldn't the winner get put on the $10 bill? Aaron Burr was a good guy, by the way. He believed in giving women the right to vote in the freaking 1700s.
With this interview, real thing to check is the interview with Aaron Burr, the possession or whatever. He admitted that actually there was something where he didn't shoot first, so there was something like self-defense, or there's something that wasn't written in history. Take it with a grain of salt.
Well, the story with that goes, most people say Alexander Hamilton did get off the first shot, but it missed. Because the pistols back then were very inaccurate, so it was very, you could be aiming square at a person and it misses. But sometimes people would miss intentionally in duels because it's sort of like, I could kill you if I wanted to. We both missed. Let's go have a beer. Obviously, that didn't happen in this particular one.
Mad.
And then some people even say that Alexander Hamilton, it looked like he was aiming for him, but he knew that this gun shot to the right, and so he lost. Sorry, I hate to say that.
It's true. It's true.
So, but you said he's a nice guy.
That's what I read. Yeah. Aaron Burr, guys.
All right.
For president.
Maybe. Well, yeah. Third vice president of the United States.
Yeah. All right, guys. So, Karen from Twitter asks another question here. This is actually the last question, but I think it's definitely a good one. It's a good one to address.
It's a good one.
She and I'm going to say this kind of statement that you wrote to me, Karen, because I think it's definitely important here. You said, I need the truth. You want to know the truth and what really gets rid of negative energies for good. What are your thoughts on saging, of course, salting, around your townhouse specifically? So it sounds like you're dealing with some stuff. I advise probably, Karen, stick within your belief system. Definitely stick with that. Stick within that community and go to local churches and see what tools they have. Because in some cases, saging may actually be what you need. I've convinced many people that, in my earlier years, that saging and salting is crap. I was totally wrong. I really was, because I wasn't looking outside of the box. I was looking in my box. And I can realize that. it might not work for me because I'm not willing that to work. It's not going to be my thing. But if your community, if your ideals and mindset and your higher belief system calls for specific procedures to take effect, utilize that. As long as that negative energy reacts and is a part of maybe that community, or at least understands that community as well, and you attack with that mindset, you can get rid of it. In most cases, I tell people just to ask for it to leave. Tell it. Have conviction and confidence. Confidence in what you do, conviction in what you say, to let it go. Things might escalate a hot second, but just keep your feet down, be the alpha in the house. But I think you have to seek communion and seek your belief style to really get the best resolution for you. Am I right? I mean, is it,
Yeah, I would say so. It's interesting to note obviously saging is kind of has American Indian history behind it, and that's something I've been wanting to look into more. I've been researching a lot about the culture and spent some time out west and in South Dakota and everything.
Tucson.
Oh, Tucson, there you go. That's I was actually just in the Navajo reservation over the summer, and also the Ute reservation.
Okay.
And didn't spend nearly enough time, but just kind of
cool.
drove through. But yeah, that's something I definitely wanted to look into more, because it just seems like, I don't know, there seems to be so much more harmony in that a lot of those cultures than in other ones in particular. So, got a little bit of a drag race. Kind of ruins this profound.
Drink up, guys.
Yeah, okay. and then salting, and I need to look into this, and I actually, I intended to, but doesn't it have more? It's a mix of like traditional African culture, kind of mixed with sort of Catholicism from Haitian and the French culture.
Yeah. The big idea with salt is that the energy itself can't pass through it. So it's not necessarily, not sure about getting rid of it, but it's keeping away.
So I just wanted to say something really quick about that since we're on it. So we're moving on. Okay, so my fiance is actually a machinist.
Okay.
And so he knows a lot about like electricity and things like that. So I asked him, I said, so is salt, is it a conductor or an insulator? Which is it? Because you would want it to be an insulator if you want it to keep the negative energy out.
Right.
But actually salt, however, is a conductor. When by itself it's nothing, but you put salt with water and it actually will conduct energy. So here's my idea on that. Is if you're going to use salting for your method, is that, like you had said before, you have to be of that belief that it is going to work for you, first and foremost.
Of course.
And then if you do go ahead and you're doing the salting around your home, like on the outside of your home, just believe that it's going to work for you, that it's going to keep it away. Not that it's going to, not using it as a conductor or an insulator, but just to use it as it's going to keep that negative energy away. Because again, like I said, salt and water together actually makes energy.
Right.
So.
Well, I know a lot of course, a lot of people like to hunt around water or locations that have heavy currents, to kind of conduct a little bit, of that energy to see if anything else can spark up. But that's actually some good. Yeah, makes sense.
I'm learning all sorts of stuff today. Wow.
And then on saging. So, do either of you know what the word sage actually means in Latin?
I do not.
It means to heal.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Sararia.
Yeah.
It means to heal.
Okay.
And so, and like Travis had said, this has been a Native American ritual for a long time. There's also records of it being used in ancient Babylon, in Egypt, other places, and not just sage, but other sacred herbs and things of that nature. And again, if you're going to be using saging as your method, saging, smudging, it's something that you absolutely have to believe is going to work for you. Otherwise, it's you're not doing anything. So in a lot of cultures and a lot of religions, you would actually get your holy man, your shaman, to come in and do that for you. And there is more to it than just going to your natural food store and buying a roll of sage, lighting it on fire, and going around your house. There's actually a method to it.
I think Hot Topic has sage.
Right. So there's actually a method to it. So basically, the bowl that you use is considered the water of your elements. The sage or your herbs is considered the earth of your elements. The actual lighting it on fire is the fire of your elements. Okay. And the smoke is the air. Earth, air, fire, and water, the elements that are earth.
Quite a ritual.
Right. And as you're doing the whole process, you're supposed to be giving off positive wording. Not like, get the F out of here, but you're supposed to be using positive energy from yourself while doing this ritual. And then when you're done going around, because it can be on a home, it can be on a person. Right. So when you're done with that and you smudge it out, I'm sorry, let me retract that smudging out part. A lot of cultures also believe in the chakra. So the center of your body, all the chakras. And so you also would want to take the sage smoke down the chakra, which is the center of your body. But again, this is something that you have to believe in it to make it have any kind of outcome. So.
Well, cool.
That's some deep stuff. Wow.
I felt like I knew 40% of maybe that.
Yeah.
So.
I will say, last summer, let's see, when was it? Was it this summer? No, it was last summer.
Last summer.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah. You just knew. So last summer, so my wife and I were trying to hit all 50 states. I'm at 47, by the way. So
good job.
And we went to New Mexico and Arizona last summer for the first time. And so when we were coming into New Mexico, I think we must have come from, just go right through the Oklahoma Panhandle and you get into New Mexico.
Right.
And so it's a higher elevation, and it was all kind of dead. But as you get a higher elevation, we're almost to our destination of Santa Fe, and we just go down this huge mountain, I guess. But it was it was a very smooth mountain. The sun was setting. It was hot out during the day, but it was of course very cool during the night because they don't have the humidity there. So we roll the windows down, and we are just overcome by the smell of sage. And it was one of the most amazing experiences we've ever had. We're just like, do you smell that? And the sun is setting, and the cool air is coming in. And to this day, when we talk about that trip, we saw all sorts of cool stuff. Museums and artifacts and, just had great food. We're always just like, our favorite moment is when we rolled down the windows and shut the air off, and the cool air came in. And we smelled the sage, and we were just like, we just felt like we were in heaven. And I don't know if that has anything to do with healing powers or whatever, but there was something in the air that night. And so it's pretty amazing.
Well, I think a lot of my key memories growing up, good and unfortunately some bad ones, always kind of go with that smell too. So it's kind of funny that, sage does have a very pleasant odor to it. Maybe it is relaxing. Haven't sniffed enough sage.
Let's go to. You want to go to Santa Fe?
Maybe some hot dogs, some.
Okay, some soy dogs.
And I guess sniff sage, guys. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and wrap things up.
All right.
So Travis, I know we got a lot of new viewers here. Tell the folks a little bit about who you are, what you do, your fellow ghost crier.
All right. Well, hey, I'm Travis Shepard. I'm the team historian. I'm a history teacher. Is my day job, and that's my passion. So whenever I got a spare moment, and I'll be reading about history. I love film and music also, but history is where it's at. So I can't wait to. We got some projects coming up, and I can't wait to delve into that and just be surrounded by this, especially local history, Midwest history.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
great stuff happened here, and it's everyone calls it flyover country, but so many important things happened. So so in addition to hunting ghosts and trying to figure out what's going on, we're going to provide the backstory too. So you can learn a little bit about that, and hopefully that might explain, some of the things we're seeing.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Right.
Thank you, Travis. Lindsay, where can we find you? What are you doing? Anything cool? What's going on?
Same as last week, Aaron. I just have that one social media, Instagram.
Best.
And do you want to put that down below again?
Yeah,
You
right
bet.
there.
Right there. Okay, so
photos.
if you missed last week, I'm a mother. I'm in the military. I also love to work out and run, but I also love to help people, and obviously I love to talk too. If you have any questions for me that you feel like I could answer for you, please feel free to email me, contact me. I'd love to help any way that I can. That's about it.
Cool. And of course, your email will be down below too. I put that last
That's
time.
right to the
Down there somewhere.
Down there. So.
And I guess I should say I don't really have a social media presence right now. I might get one. I don't like technology.
You're there in heart.
I still buy CDs. I bought while I was overnight. I bought like 6 CDs up in
They still
Madison.
sell CDs?
Yeah, they do. They're hard to find now.
They-
I went into Best Buy for the first time. I was like, "Do you still have a CD section?" Oh yeah, it's over there. It was like by the dumpster or something. I was like,
It's like you're one of those bins where you get 5 for.
yeah, pretty much. So.
All right, guys, and of course, I'm Aaron G. Thompson. You can find me on like every single social media site.
They're right down.
Okay, not all of them, but yeah, they're down there. The big one, of course, is we're moving here at Ghost Crier.
That's coming up though.
Yeah.
We've been training.
Ghost
It's
Choir. We white stuff here, so it's
Ghost Choir.
Ghost
I like
Choir.
that though. We sing
Sing.
Bobby Brown songs.
it's a thing. .com. Ghostchoir.com. I should get that.
Yeah,
Probably.
nobody freaking buy that.
Yeah.
Ghost Choir
Ghost.
is our
So
freaking.
you go there, it's going to probably loop you to ghostcrier.com,
Yes.
which would then have more social sites there for us that you can follow, and of course patreon.com/ghostcrier, where we're trying to move this into a full professional career, because I believe we can do this. And if you guys want to support us, please drop $1 or what you can. If nothing, support by sharing, liking, definitely comment below. We like to converse with you folks. So, guys, we're over. So, ghost achievement unlocked.
Your brain must be on fire. Raise your spirit to the ghost crier. Slam the door. You're shaking, scared. Live your life with so much fear. Wipe your eyes, hide your tears. Stop. Let me make this clear. This about you and me. No blind mutiny. Only power unity. Together we will see. Peace. Check the other vids. Go. Ghostcrier.com. Magic is only undiscovered science.